So in previous lecture we have seen the introduction of the arc and spark sources. Then next we have seen the what are the limitation of arc and spark sources. Then what sample preparation and which sample we can be handled by using these electric discharge sources. So there we have seen that only solids can be determined or analyzed quite precisely, but for liquid and gaseous sample we generally use the plasma sources. Then next we have seen the sample types, means for which sample and how we can prepare that sample and how to handle that sample. Particularly we have seen the solid samples. Okay, then next we have seen the metals. So for metals, which procedure we need to follow will be depending upon the element present in that metal. Okay, so there are two types of processes. One is if we want to form the metal electrode of that particular element, we may use the three processes. So one is the um, milling, turning and casting. Okay, so milling, turning and casting are the three processes that we can be used for the one method. And another method, we simply use the polish flat surface electrode or the large pieces of the metal electrode. Okay, and another electrode will be the cylindrical graphite electrode. Okay, so the two types of electrodes are there. One is our element or metallic element electrode, and another one is the graphite electrode for metallic estimation. For non-metallic estimation, we have seen that carbon is being used as the ideal electrode because like it's quite pure. It is available in the pure form. It is again a good conductor of electricity. Also it has the good heat resistance, and also this carbon can be easily shaped. Okay, so the manufacturer will provide the various shapes of the carbon graphite electrode. Okay, here we have seen some typical graphite electrode shapes. Okay, so one is the counter electrode. Okay, so here we are having the counter electrode. Okay, here, so these two electrodes does not contain the sample, but another electrode which contain the sample might have the this type of shape. Okay, and there is a space. Okay, here we can see the space for the sample placing. Okay, so here also we are having this shape space for the sample placing. Okay, so these sharp edges are maintained. Okay, the sharp edges are maintained for the, okay, here we can see that these edges are quite sharp. Okay, so these sharp edges are maintained for the minimization of the heat resistance. Okay, minimization of the heat, because in arc or in um, these plasma sources also we have seen quite high temperature is get generated around 4000 to 5000 or 8000 Kelvin. So we need to like have the arrangement for the heat dissipation so that large amount of heat can be dissipated into the electrodes. Okay, so once that sample is for non-metallic element, the sample is placed into this cavities. Okay, into these cavities, so sample is packed into that cavity. The other electrode which is commonly the tapered carbon electrode with slightly rounded tip. Okay, and that rounded tips are usually for the elimination or the minimization of heat. Okay, so this rounded tip is there for the another electrode or auxiliary electrode to minimize the heat. Okay, next the configuration which appears to produce the most stable and reproducible arc and spark. Okay, so these sources are suitable for generation of quite reproducible arc. Okay, the another common atomization method is the finely grounded sample, which is mixed with the relatively large amount of powdered graphite or copper or other conducting compressible substance. Okay, so these two, one we have seen the for metallic elements. For non-metallic elements we have seen the graphite electrode, and there we place the sample. Okay, another one method is there for the preparation is that we first divide the sample into small part, then we mix this small powdered sample with the large amount of graphite, copper or other conducting element that can be compressed into the one pellets. Okay, so all this process, okay, the resulting mixture which is then compressed at high pressure. Okay, so once we have formed this mixture of our sample element in powdered form plus graphite or copper or other conducting substance, that is again form into the electrode by using the process called as briquetting or pelleting. Okay, so this word is familiar with us. Okay, pelleting. So for the KBR pellet or for that word is familiar with is pelleting methods. Okay, so we form the pellets. So these are the sample preparation method. Okay, so for non-metal, okay, there are we can say that there are again two ways that we can prepare the sample for non-metals. Okay, so in first method there are two electrodes, first counter electrode and another one is the electrode for sample holding. Okay, counter electrode and electrodes for sample holding. So in counter electrode, what precaution is there, that they have been maintained with the sharp tip. Okay, सो या इलेक्ट्रोडमध्ये शार्प टीप असण्याचं रिझन काय आहे की आपल्याला जी हीट जनरेट होणार आहे याच्यामध्ये आर्क किंवा स्पार्कच्या फॉर्मेशन नंतर जी हीट जनरेट होणार आहे दॅट हीट शुड बी गेट डिसिपेटेड इन दी electrode, and for the sample holding or for this placing of the sample, the another electrode is equipped with the some cavity. Okay, there is some cavity for the sample placing. Okay, so this is the one method for the non-metallic preparation. Then next another method is there in which we can use the okay sample powder. So first पहिली स्टेप काय असणार आहे याच्यामध्ये तर the given sample is grind into the fine powder. Then next that powdered sample is mixed with the graphite, copper or other conducting element, and then it's compressed into the electrical rod. Okay, so that process is called as a pelleting process. Okay, so this is the second process. So the first type of electric discharge source is the arc source. Okay, arc source which is used for the emission spectroscopy. Okay, so the meaning of arc is again that we discuss. Okay, so arc is generally a current generated by the electrical non-contact between the two electrodes. Okay, so arc is generated, suppose these two electrodes are there. Okay, but there is no any conducting wire. Okay, there is no conducting wire as such. Okay, for the conduction of current, but if you want to conduct this current between these two electrode, we can just simply place this electrode close to each other and the current is flown between these two electrode by using the atmospheric gases or moisture. Okay, so this phenomenon is the arc. Okay, so there are certain demonstration videos available, so you can watch that videos. Okay, so our main intent here is the understand the principle of arc source or the spark source and its application for the analytical analysis. So first is the arc sources. So the arc sources which is used for the spectrochemical analysis is formed with the pair of graphite or the metallic electrode which are spaced with the few millimeter apart. Okay, so generally the electrodes which are formed into the arc sources are made up of the graphite or metal electrode having the which are spaced between each other with the few millimeters apart. Okay, the arc sources which is initially ignited by using the low current spark. Okay, then that causes the momentarily formation of ions for the electrical conduction between the gap. Okay, so here in arc sources the electricity is conducted by using the gases, okay, or ions form in the gap between two electrodes. So once that arc is generated, the thermal ionization will maintain the current into this arc. Okay, so बघा पहिली स्टेप काय असणार आहे याच्यामध्ये. सो टू इलेक्ट्रोड्स must be close to each other. So once we have applied the low current spark, then that causes the electrical discharge between the ions, and once that electrical discharge is happen, the arc is get generated, and once arc is get generated due to the thermal ionization, the current is maintained. Okay, so whole this process is started by using low current spark. Okay, low current spark. So another method is that arc can be generated by bringing the two electrode together so as to provide the heat for the ionization. The electrodes are then separated for the desired distance. Okay, so another method is that, like, once two electrodes are being applied with very high voltage, then then there is like we can generate very high voltage, so that resulted into the heated electrodes. So once that heated electrodes are come into the contact with each other, they will generate the arc for the or the ions. Then once that arc is generated, then we can separate that ions. Okay, so the typical arc which requires the current which is in the range of 1 to 30 ampere. Okay, for the initial generation of arc we require the current of around 1 to 30 ampere. So for generation of this much current we can use the DC voltage or AC voltage. So the DC voltage is applied as an voltage of around, okay, 200 volt. So for DC we can having the 200 volt input. And another method is there, we can use the AC source as well, but the voltage required is quite high. Okay, around 2200 to 4400 volt is required, or some low range voltage are around 100 to 400 volt can also be used. With either type of this low voltage or high voltage AC current or AC voltages, we get the arc. Okay, but with high voltage type the arc is generated spontaneously, and with low voltage arc the reignition is brought about by the low current spark discharge. Okay, so there are again two ways, one by using DC source, another one by using AC source. So for DC source we generally require the 200 volt of source, and for AC there are two ways, one is high voltage mode and another one is the low voltage mode. In high voltage mode we require the 2200 to 4400 volt input, and in another low voltage mode we require around 100 to 2200 to 4400 volt, and in low voltage range we require 100 to 400 volt input voltage. Okay, so there are the principle of this our arc sources. So for generation of arc there are two methods. So next is the what are the general characteristics of our arc sources. Okay, so what are the characteristics of our arc sources? So the current which generated into the arc is caused by the motion of electrons and ions which are formed by the thermal ionization. Okay, so once that thermal ionization is nothing but our high temperature ionization of our ions. So the high temperature that is developed as a result of resistance to the motion of these ions into the arc gap. Okay, so as that in the ICP the temperature is generated by using the resistance of that motion of ions. Okay, so temperature is around same that of 4000 to 5000 Kelvin. Okay, so the temperature is again very high. The temperature which depends upon the composition of plasma, which in turn depends upon the rate of formation of atomic and ionic particles from the samples and the electrodes. Okay, so in turn the whole process is depends upon the how much amount of that particles or the ions are generated into the plasma. Okay, so once the we have controlled the rate of formation, we can also control the temperature of the arc source. Okay, so again this generation of ions will depends upon the voltage that we have applied for the either DC or AC source. Okay, so once that spectra is produced in the typical arc are reaching the intense line for the atoms and contains less number for the ionic species. Okay, so here one important point is that जो आपल्याला स्पेक्ट्रा मिळणार आहे त्याच्यामध्ये the intense lines are there for the atoms and not for the ions. Okay, so because atoms will produce this more lines or intense lines as compared with the ions. Okay, and the source of the as that for the neutral atom and singly charged and doubly charged atom will shows the separate spectrum in the spectral lines. Okay, so for singly charged ion or doubly charged ion or for the neutral ion we get the separate lines. Okay, for particular elements. So these are the principle and like what are the characteristic for the principle and characteristic for the arc sources. So there are like limitations also for this arc sources that we can see in the next lecture.